Good Friday morning. I'm meteorologist Jeff Gerber. For the next 15 minutes, we're going to be going over the weather as we head through this weekend into early next week. We do have a weather impact alert in place as we head towards this weekend, as we're expecting cold air to meet up with a bunch of rain, a bunch of moisture, and we're going to get maybe some freezing rain and sleet all the way up in towards the lakes area. Chances of maybe some of that down here towards the triangle, fairly small, but up in the lakes, we could see 1/4 of an inch of ice coming into play, and that could cause some problems as far as maybe power lines and roadways, and causing some problems up in that direction. So we'll be looking at all that here over the next 15 minutes. For the rest of today, you'll be fine. If you need to go to the grocery store and get some supplies, want to finish wrapping up some pipes or something like that, you can do that for today. Just be prepared, get everything prepared for the weekend. Make sure those plants are wrapped up. Make sure maybe go visit your elderly neighbor. Make sure their heat's going to be on and running for the weekend. Make sure the pets have a good place to be for this weekend where it's nice and warm. We have a small chance of a couple of showers through the rest of the day, but generally we're expecting to see temperatures. 64 might be a little high for this afternoon. With the cloud cover out there, we might not get much above 60 degrees. Up in the lakes area, you might not even reach 60 degrees for this afternoon, and then we'll be in the 50s as we head towards 10 o'clock for tonight. Quick look at the allergy report, which is not a big deal right now. Tree is low, and mold medium, weed and grass, of course, is 0. All right, let's take a look outside. We have cloudy skies. Here's the view from the Horseman's Western Store over in Orange on our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network, currently showing 59 degrees, humidity at 96%, and we're seeing an east wind right now, generally between about 5 and 10 miles per hour. Those cloudy skies, it looks like they're going to stick around for the entire day, so that's why I'm not expecting temperatures probably to get much more than maybe some lower 60s, maybe 62, 63 degrees. And then we'll go to downtown Beaumont. It's a Packer LaPrade camera, and we're showing 58 degrees downtown with those cloudy skies. Not really seeing much of a wind, humidity around 93%. All right, let's take a look at temperatures out there. Right now we're looking at a lot of middle to upper 50s, 59 in Beaumont, 58 in Orange. Port Arthur is at 60 degrees, 55 Woodville, Jasper's at 57, 56 in Kirbyville, and then 57 in Silsbee. Houston is at 62, Conroe's at 60, Huntsville's at about 58, and then Lake Charles at about 59. If you have to get over to Houston today and come back later on tonight, you'll be fine. Don't have to worry about anything. And even the first half of the day on Saturday, if you have to drive to Houston and come back, you'll be fine. But just be prepared to try to leave Houston as soon as you can. You don't want to linger in the Houston area into Saturday evening. If you can get over there and back during the daytime hours on Saturday, I think you'll be okay. That cold air won't really reach over into parts of Houston until we get into Saturday evening going into Sunday morning. We have a stationary front to our south, kind of snaking its way through Texas. It's creating a few showers out in West Texas. You can see that flow from the southwest, that moisture coming in. And then here's the Arctic front right here. That's going to be diving down into our area as we head towards late tonight into your Saturday. Once that goes through, that cold, shallow layer of air is going to be slowly seeping down into southeast Texas here, giving us a chance for some freezing rain and sleet, mainly in the lakes area. But we could see maybe a little bit of glaze and maybe some freezing rain here into the triangle as we head towards Sunday morning into Sunday afternoon, so something we'll be watching for. Here's current radar, and there's nothing going on right now. Like, might be running into a little bit of drizzle here and there. I had a little bit of that earlier this morning, but nothing showing up on radar as far as any measurable rainfall. If we see anything this afternoon, it'd be an isolated shower. That's just about it. Now, our futurecast takes us possibly up into the lower 60s for the afternoon. Like I said, with the cloud cover out there, we're hard pressed to get to 65 or 67. More like 62 or 63 around the triangle. And then we'll see if we can get to 60 up in the lakes. I think a lot of the lakes area will be stuck in the 50s for this afternoon. Heading into this evening, we'll see temperatures falling back through the 50s. Might see a couple of showers once again through the evening. It's really as we head towards the morning hours on Saturday that we'll start to see the rain start to increase from the south and west. We'll drop down to around 50 here in the triangle by 7 a.m. and we'll look at some 40s up towards the lakes area to start off on your Saturday. Then here comes that rain moving into southeast Texas as we head towards the morning hours on Saturday, and it'll continue as we get into the afternoon. It'll be heavy at times, maybe picking up 1 or 2 inches of some rainfall going through the day on Saturday, and this will linger into Saturday night. Now, by lunchtime, this computer model has it down around freezing in Burkeville. That might be a little fast. We're not really expecting the freezing rain and sleet until maybe Saturday evening at the earliest, and then through the overnight. I think the temperature is going to be a little bit slower to fall than we're showing here. As you can see by Saturday at 3 o'clock, we're still showing temperatures around 40 here in the triangle and still just above freezing up towards the lakes area on this particular computer model. Like I said, it's really going to be late Saturday night, I think into Sunday, before we really start to see anything as far as freezing rain and maybe some ice accumulation there. Saturday night through Tuesday is when we have our weather impact alert. Now we already, just from the Weather Service, just before I started this stream, they issued a ice storm warning, which they're expecting maybe a quarter of an inch to up to half an inch of ice developing up towards the lakes area north of 190. That ice storm warning is for Hardin County, Tyler County, Jasper, and Newton counties. So something we're going to be watching for. Like I said, literally 30 seconds before I started this stream, they issued that. So I haven't been able to make a graphic or anything like that. Just know that we could see more ice than this as we head towards Sunday morning, the first half of the day on Sunday. This could be maybe double what we're showing here, maybe 2/10 to 4/10 of an inch of ice possible up in the lakes area. Right now, computer model's not indicating it's a half an inch, but somewhere maybe near a quarter of an inch of some ice up into the lakes area as we go into the late hours on Sunday morning. Down in the triangle here, there is still a chance of a little bit, but I think the bulk of it's going to be north up towards the lakes area. Just stay tuned this weekend. If you haven't downloaded the 12 News app, do that. We're also going to be on 12 News Plus streaming and, of course, live on air over the weekend, letting you know what we find out there. And, of course, we'll be here on Sunday morning as well, watching the weather conditions and updating on any problems as far as power outages, traffic, all that kind of stuff as we go through your weekend. So keep it here. We'll keep you updated on what's going on. Here's a computer model of what they're expecting maybe ice-wise, and you can see quarter of an inch in Woodville, some areas a little over 1/10 of an inch, Burkeville, and then DeRidder, they're showing a half an inch there. Over towards Livingston, they're showing not quite a half an inch there. So these amounts, of course, are going to be varying as we head towards Sunday morning, but definitely could see some ice accumulation. As we get down around the triangle, this one computer model at least does not show much at all of any ice accumulation, but we could see maybe a little bit, a light glaze. I don't think travel or power problems are going to be a big deal down here into the triangle. I don't think we're going to have to worry about that so much. But as you head north up into Tyler County, maybe northern Hardin County, northern parts of Jasper and Newton County, that's where we could run into some problems as we head in towards this weekend. So we're going to be watching closely for that. Now, here's what we can expect as far as impacts. If we get some of that, 1/10 of an inch of ice, you might run into a little bit of slippery roadways, talking about bridges and overpasses, just a light glaze. And we'll see something like that possibly here in the triangle. The big deal, I think, is going to be up closer towards the lakes area. And then 1/10 of an inch to a quarter of an inch. That's when travel becomes pretty dangerous. We really start to see something develop as far as the bridges and the overpasses. And then we could see some isolated power outages. Now, with that ice storm warning that the Weather Service just issued for the lakes area, they're predicting possibly up to a half an inch of ice up towards the lakes area. I'm hoping that doesn't come to fruition, but if that would happen, if we would get somewhere between a quarter of an inch and half an inch, that's an ice storm, and we could see widespread power outages up there. We could see a lot of problems as far as the roads, not just the bridges and the overpasses. So hopefully we'll stick to these first two categories over the weekend as we get maybe 1/10 of an inch to a quarter of an inch of some ice towards the lakes. Hopefully we won't see this ice storm come to fruition as we head towards Sunday morning and towards the lunchtime on Sunday. So we'll be tracking it closely. Like I said, right now looking at maybe just a light glaze here for the triangle and maybe a little bit more as we head towards the lakes area early on Sunday. Quick look at your coastal marine forecast for today. East winds at 10 to 15 knots, seas from 2 to 3 feet. Mostly smooth on the inland lakes and bays. Next high tides at about 10:28. So forecast for today, we'll go cloudy skies, 20% coverage of a couple of showers possible, maybe a little bit of drizzle here and there, and temperatures will be generally into the lower 60s. I think I've gone a little bit too warm here for today. We should probably be looking at some upper 50s towards the lakes and some lower 60s towards the triangle here. And then we start off tomorrow morning with some lower 50s possible here in the triangle, and up in the lakes we're looking at generally some 40s there. Rain develops through the overnight. We'll go with about a 40% coverage as we head into tomorrow morning with east winds between about 5 and 10 miles per hour. If you have any travel plans today, if you have any travel plans overnight, you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about anything except for maybe some rain developing through the overnight period. Now here's our 7-day forecast. Like I said, around midnight or so, we start near around 50 or so, and then we'll start to fall during the day back into the 40s in the lakes area. You could see some 30s by late in the afternoon on Saturday. Saturday should be just a cold rain coming down across the area. It'll be a good coverage. We're going 90% coverage on Saturday. And then as we head into Saturday night, very late into Sunday morning, that's where the lakes area could see those temperatures falling below the freezing mark. And here in the triangle, we'll be seeing temperatures possibly down around freezing as we head towards the early morning hours on Sunday at daybreak, or just after that, a little bit later on in the morning there. As the rain comes down, like I said, it will change over to freezing rain. We have that thin layer of Arctic air, and that will cause some freezing up towards the lakes area. Like I said, the Weather Service, just before I started doing this stream, has issued an official ice storm warning, or ice storm warning for the lakes area, Hardin County, Tyler County, Jefferson, and Newton counties, and that goes for Sunday morning. As we get into Sunday afternoon, things will start to clear out. At least here in the triangle, we get above freezing. If we get a quarter of an inch of ice or more than that up towards the lakes, you may not get above freezing until we get into Monday afternoon. You might stay below the freezing mark until then, so you'll have to deal with those icy conditions through the day on Sunday, overnight into Monday morning, and then eventually we'll start to thaw out a little bit on Monday. Now, everybody will see these cold temperatures as we head towards Monday and Tuesday mornings. This is numbers for the triangle. 20 degrees Monday morning in the triangle, 19 on Tuesday. So that translates to some middle to upper teens as you head in towards the lakes area as we go towards Monday and Tuesday mornings. Hard freeze. You'll be needing to drip those faucets Sunday night going into Monday morning, and then we'll see a little bit of a break, and then Monday night going into Tuesday morning. That's when we see some of the coldest air there. So once we get past Tuesday morning, temperatures will start to warm up. We'll see some sunshine there, and we'll get up around 50 here on Tuesday afternoon, and in the lakes area, you'll be getting temperatures up there into the 40s, close to 50 on Tuesday. Then after that, Wednesday and Thursday, looking like we're going to be seeing a little bit warmer temperatures. I think we'll stay just above the freezing mark with afternoon highs into the 50s, and looks like we'll be dry Wednesday into Thursday. There was looking like there'd be a little precipitation on Wednesday, but right now I'm not going to put that in the forecast. As like I said, we look towards the weekend, that's going to be the problem, especially Sunday morning, as we'll see a mix of cold air and some precipitation. Could be a quarter of an inch or more of rain up towards the lakes area. I want to go back, give me a second, I want to go back to that graphic once again that I had up there earlier about computer model, just kind of trying to guess at some of the amounts of ice that will be developing up towards the lakes area. And we're showing anywhere from, looks like anywhere from 1/10 of an inch to maybe a quarter of an inch. But like I said, the Weather Service has issued ice storm warning for the lakes area, and that goes through Sunday morning. It's basically overnight Saturday into Sunday morning, where they're saying that there could be possibilities of maybe half an inch of ice. I think that might be a little bit on the heavy side, but we'll have to wait and see. But this is what we're looking at, possibility for Sunday morning. This is by Sunday evening, so this is basically what we get to Saturday night and Sunday morning. So 1/10 of an inch up to about a quarter of an inch. I want to show you the graphic once more. Patrick, if we can advance it to the impact graphic there, the next one there, and I'll show you, there we go. The freezing rain and the ice impacts, like I said, a light glaze, a little bit of trouble on the bridges and overpasses, and then once you get up to about a quarter of an inch, you're talking about some dangerous travel. Most of your bridges and overpasses probably will be iced over, and then we could see some power outages. If we get up into the lakes area, what the Weather Service is talking about, we might be running into some likely power outages and some real problems on the roadways. So we'll keep you updated. We'll keep you informed of what's going on tonight through Saturday, and then as we get into the event on Sunday morning, and then we'll have to deal with that cold air as we head towards Monday and Tuesday mornings. Appreciate you watching the stream. Patrick Vaughn will be back here tonight with another stream at 6:30 and updating you throughout the day. Be safe out there. Have a great weekend.